I wanted to do a second video this week, but the Seahawks preseason game starts in about 40 minutes, so I only have 20 minutes because my parents are going to be here and they're bringing me food and alcohol, so I have to prioritize that. But I thought I would at least do an Ask Britt Shit, because those are quick, those are fun, those are easy, like your mama. Sorry. So sorry, that was bad. The first question comes from the Hakuna Zombie. I think I pronounced that right. This zombie asks, boxers briefs or boxer briefs? You know, I don't really have a preference. You know, wear what you want to wear thongs if you, well, I'm just gonna say boxers because that way I can wear them and they're like shorts. Except there's a big gaping hole in the front for a penis that I do not have. So wear what you will, I will not judge. Angry Wolves asks, any games you wish there were sequels to? Alpha Protocol and Legend of Dragoon come to mind. I wish someone would take this IPs and do something with them. Sequels. You know, what comes to mind right now, I want another Breath of Fire sequel. Not the Breath of Fire iOS and Android game that's coming out, like, not that. So Breath of Fire 3 was one of my favorite games. Breath of Fire 4 I recently just started on the Vita. Breath of Fire 5 Dragon Quarter was a hot mess, and it just left a really sour taste in my mouth. So if I could get a true Breath of Fire sequel, that would make me feel really happy. I also wish Final Fantasy IX would get the Final Fantasy XIII treatment and get like 10.5 sequels. And of course, Earthbound. I want an Earthbound that will like run on the PS4 and Xbox One and fuck the Wii U. Like I want a next-gen Earthbound game. What about you? What games would you like to see a sequel to? Eric Steiner has a question and he asks, as far as dating and relationships go, do you think that it's harder or easier to find someone you can relate to regarding your passions with video games? Even with the popularity of gaming, anime, movies, comic books, toys, etc. these days, it still seems difficult to find a person that you can share one or more of these interests with. Or do you believe that opposites attract? You know, I have to say it's not too difficult to find a male who at least plays some sort of video games. The difficulty I've run into personally is the tolerance of said male. For example, I once dated a guy who liked video games. I mean, he played the casual COD, he'd play Halo with me, you know, etc. But when it came time for me to play my single player, you know, like action adventure, like super immersive games, he would get very jealous, if that's the right word. He didn't quite understand what it meant for me to have my me time and for me to be able to just have a couple hours to myself and just lose myself in a video game. And that made the relationship very difficult. So while I would say that the difficult part isn't finding someone who likes video games or comics or anime, the difficult part for me in the past has been someone who can tolerate the amount of time I like to dedicate to comics and video games and anime, etc., etc. I mean, that being said, I've met many people whose significant other is a hardcore gamer and they don't know the first thing about video games. But again, they respect that, you know, need for personal time to do whatever makes that person happy. Maybe person A likes to like go out and hike and do outdoor activities, but person B, you know, prefers to stay inside and play video games. As long as they can respect that balance, I think that, you know, opposites can attract, and clearly they do. But in that instance, I think it can work successfully. You guys, I won't lie to you, it's about 90 degrees in my office right now, and I am so fucking sweaty, but you can't tell because I have these huge ass bay windows that are like beating the sun on me, so it's bright and everything looks kind of perfect, a little dewy and shiny, but oh man, I'm sweating. Yay for TMI! The next question comes from Jeremy Nelson, and Jeremy asks, 1. What's the most you've ever spent on a video game? 2. What's the most you would spend on a video game? And 3. What is the rarest game you own? Well, I can answer all 3 of those in one fell swoop. And the answer to that question, those questions, is Uncharted 2: The Fortune Hunters Edition. So back in 2010, IGN held a charity auction, which was called IGN for Haiti, which benefited the victims of the 7.0 magnitude earthquake that hit Haiti. And around that time, I had been blogging on IGN for maybe 6 months or so, and I saw their auction, and I saw one of the auction items was the Uncharted 2 Fortune Hunters Edition. So I bid on it, and I won, and I spent $1,200 on it. And I'm telling myself it was a good investment because now they go for like, what, 6-7 grand? But seriously, I'm glad I did it, and I also feel like it was a good way to spend my money and get something I really, really wanted, which was the Uncharted 2 Fortune Hunters edition. In fact, I think my unboxing of that collector's edition was the first YouTube video I ever uploaded. The first, like, official video game-ish related YouTube video. I'll link to that below if you want to check it out. So I'd like to think that that is the most I will ever spend on a video game, and that by far is the rarest game I own. I mean, now if, like, BioWare announced some Dragon Age Inquisition uber awesome special edition with, like, Alistair's pubes or chest hair or something, I would probably spend ungodly amounts of money on that. But I don't think that's gonna happen, sadly. Well, I should probably wrap up this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Oh, and let me know if you're going to Sony Online Entertainment's event in Vegas, because I just found out I will be going. And that will be fun, and we can, like, party hardy in Vegas, and there's a zombie prom, and I'm going to be zombified. It's going to be awesome, so if you're in the area, you should go. Bye!